Alright, take 95 of Benchmade 915 Triage knife assembly. Alright, well, I think I figured this out this time. So take one of the tanks. Alright, that's the tank. Take the end piece. We're gonna start with this, oddly enough. Put the end piece onto the tank. Take one of the silver pins here and position it into the hole, the last hole. It will only position itself in like one orientation. So just find that orientation. There you go. Okay, so don't touch this for the time being. Just leave it be there, and then take the two springs with on a shaft thing. So this is your axis lock. This is the heart of it, and then this is how it look in the final orientation. So that's what you want to achieve. And then, so insert one of the springs inside and slide the lock like that. Awesome. And then holding this in place. I guess this could have been done after this. Anyway, holding this in place, rotate the knife, and then now you're trying to assemble the spring. Sorry, put the spring inside of this tiny little hole. So you just slide the spring across the tank until it fits in the hole like this. Sweet. And then you want to hold it in place with your fingers so it doesn't pop out. So now you've done that. Take one of the scales, whatever scale will fit. Okay, so that's not the scale. This is the scale. Take the scale, and then so position it onto the other side of the knife, like so. And to help you, so now the scale is now holding the spring, which is great because you don't want to be holding it yourself all the time. And then to help you out further, screw the scale in place, one of the screws. So maybe that one, I guess, doesn't really matter. So just screw it in there. Line up with your fingers with the Torx piece. Alright. So the scale is in place. Now what you want is continue the assembly of the axis lock itself. So you have two washers, two brass washers. Oil the surface on which they'll rest. Just a tiny bit. No, not like that. A little messy. So the oil will also help just keep the washer in place, so it's not gonna slide out. Put it in there. Take the center shaft of the axis lock and just slide it from the bottom. Slide. So it needs to align with everything, so it might be a little tricky. So okay, so it's in there. Now take the blade, rather. Take the blade, put it onto the lock. Actually, before you do that, take this little guy, this piece, and this is the stopper, I guess, of the blade at the corner here. So this is where that goes, and put it in there. Take the blade. Use this finger to pull the lock onto you that way. This will help you just get the blade inside and put the blade in here like so. Okay, so the blade is in and is locked. It's locked. So this guy stops the blade from sliding out, and yeah, so this blade is fully in place. Now take the other washer. So this is what will go here. Oil the blade surface just a tiny bit, like so. put the washer in here. Awesome, it's all oiled up. And now the axis lock is almost assembled. Now what you need is take the other tang rather. So you need to position it this way onto the knife. So that bit is a little tricky and very annoying. So what will help is lower the shaft so it's not sticking out as much, but it's still like protruding through the washer and the blade. And just slide this guy, the spring through here, so that the axis, the little bit, it's very annoying to do. Okay, so it's slide it like that, slide it in here at the very end, and now just rotate the tank around the knife, like so. Keep rotating it. Keep rotating it. Okay. So it's almost there. And now you need to position it on top of this silver piece. So this is actually the point when you need to install the end piece and the silver piece. Not when I did it right in the beginning, but doesn't matter now. So as you were sliding it, it was hard to slide. What will help if you use the pin here and unlock the blade, and this will help in rotation of the tank. And then eventually you end up, as you were just doing that motion, you end up with the tank, with this piece through the tank, and then the shaft through the tank, and then this spring is just loose here. So essentially this is pretty much the assembled knife. But now take the spring, then you need to put it into this hole here, to this tiny hole, just like you did on the other side in the very beginning. Put it in there, like so. Alright, so that's in. Now you need to attach the hook. The hook is held in place. It's a bit of a finicky assembly, but essentially with the spring, which goes into this hole, like so, and a ball bearing, which goes on top, like that. And then the hook itself. So the ball bearing, when the hook is locked in either one of the positions, the ball bearing rests in one of the, like in this hole or this hole. And as you slide the hook out, the ball bearing slides across its surface and makes this groove here. So that's why it's fairly easy to figure out how to put it together. So the hook rests on this axle. I guess axle is the right name. So you put the axle or pin into the other hole, like that. There's only one way it'll fit. Okay, there you go. So you just rotate it until it fits. So it's in place. And now okay, yeah, now with this in place, so now you put the hook on top of of this axle or pin or whatever you want to call it, and then it doesn't feel like it will fit, but then you just press on it, and this presses the ball bearing into the spring, and everything is in place and great. So the pin came out. All right. So with that in mind, and then once you put the hook in here, you put the other scale on top of the hook. So let's do that. So put the hook like so, and then see if we can do it. Put the have it rest on something so it doesn't go away. And then put the other scale on top. Like that. So screw one of them in. Screw the other one. Alright, so by this point you've screwed all the screws in, and it would help if you weren't a complete idiot and lost 1, 2, 3 screws, as I did in the process, so I can't actually put the clip on. And this one, but this one isn't that important. So you got all the important ones in, and this guy, and this guy. So this screw adjusts how loose the hook is. So if you make it really tight, the hook is gonna be really hard to get out. So that's not good. If you make it too loose, the hook is too loose. So I kind of like it in the middle. And then the very last step is to adjust how tight this blade's operation is. It's pretty tight right now. So you put the central screw inside. So this is sort of the last bit you do. Yeah. So just screw it in. He'll go there eventually. And now you just adjust the knife separation to your liking. So I made it so that I can't even open the knife. That's not good. So you untie this guy, and then what adjusts the operation of the knife is the side screws. So okay, so those two guys, you adjust their tightness until you like how the knife operates. Alright, so let's see. So that's too tight. Yeah, so essentially you just adjust those two screws until you're happy with the result. And you're done. So this is the 99% assembled knife. Then the only thing that's missing is the clip. So that would have been a fully assembled knife. But I lost the screws, so I need to go buy some. Here's the Benchmade 915 assembled.